Hello, everyone. I'm Mohammed Abed, and I'm here with my two colleagues, Rafael Grande and Brandon Samoranos, presenting our human-centered design. Quickly, before I begin, I'd like to personally thank Brenda for helping me throughout this course and always being available, as well as Carlos for answering my multitude of questions at the most random times. And finally, I'd also like to thank my two colleagues for sticking with me throughout the duration of this course because I truly can't imagine myself doing this project with anyone else. Now, as we were planning our human-centered design, we noticed some commonalities between all of us. At one point, we've each dealt with an aspect of financial illiteracy because we lack the proper resources to attain knowledge to understand finance. And so to validate our hypothesis, we conducted research, and the following is a result of our research.
So when we conducted our research, we found out that the mean income of surveyed BIPOC and immigrant individuals is only $71,683 in the Contra Costa area. The low income bar, defined by the Housing Authority of Contra Costa, is $89,600. As we can see, there's a significant difference between both values, and these individuals are who are affected the most. In our research, we also found out that there's a difference between US-born versus non-US born individuals when it comes to poverty rates. Those who are born in the Contra Costa County have a lower poverty rate than those that were born outside of the US, who have an 11.5% compared to the 9.2% that people born in the US have.
From the data we collected, we can see that a majority of students felt underprepared to handle finances on their own. And this is primarily because primary and secondary education lacks support for financial literacy. In our research, we found that nearly 90% of students surveyed felt underprepared, all of which identified as BIPOC and/or an immigrant. BIPOC and immigrant communities lack the most support in terms of financial literacy, and unfortunately, that vicarious cycle continues to pass down through generations with a small chance of interrupting.
So what exactly do we see in our community? Well, what we see is financial illiteracy, especially among minorities. Now, financial illiteracy leads to predatory lending, subprime mortgages, bad credit score, and high interest rate. And consequently, this can lead to poverty, foreclosure, and homelessness. So what is the main issue? Financial illiteracy among minorities. Now, this leads to something known as a positive feedback loop, but this is nowhere near something that is positive. You see, financial illiteracy only repeats and continues to be a bigger problem from generation to generation. And we're here to mitigate that problem. We're here to stop that cycle. And this is where Contra Costa Financial Literacy Program steps in. So how exactly does CCFLP work? Well, we try to work with accounting firms and working professionals such as KPMG, and those people will act as mentors and advisors for college students in the Contra Costa area. College might be Diablo Valley College. Now, those students will provide their services of financial literacy to families and individuals and minority groups who have not received any financial literacy at all. And due to COVID-19, we try to make it accessible via the phone and the computer, and of course, free of charge. So what exactly does this look like? Well, through our user interface, we try to make it easily distinguishable whether you want to be a volunteer or you want to seek out for our financial services. We also try to make our website as transparent as possible so you know who we are and what our mission statement stands for. And because we are catering towards the minority group in Contra Costa County, we provide our website in a multitude of languages, such as English and Spanish, of course, but also Farsi, Arabic, Hindi, Mandarin, and Tagalog. So who will we be working with? Well, of course, we'll be working with working professionals from Ernst & Young's, KPMG, and PwC, but we'll also be working with college institutions around and near Contra Costa County. This could be UC Berkeley, Diablo Valley College, St. Mary's, and more.
Now, you may be wondering why BIPOC and immigrant communities. Well, this is because BIPOC and immigrant communities on average score one proficiency level lower than their non-BIPOC counterparts. And so offering a service like CCFLP, local communities have access to understanding how to manage their finances. Services being offered online give individuals the comfort and ease of mind to go at their own pace as well as their own time. Unfortunately, not everyone has access to online services, and to further promote CCLP, services are offered through phone calls because giving every person an equal opportunity is important. CCFLP looks to function through adult schools and eventually brick and mortar locations for those who have difficulty with online and phone services. Our target location is Contra Costa County, where we all happen to live. We notice the educational infrastructure here definitely lacks a strong financial emphasis. 24% of our residents identify as an immigrant, and nearly 54% of Contra Costa identifies as BIPOC. As stated earlier, the median income is $71,683, and while this does seem high, the low-income threshold set by the housing department is $89,600. In some disadvantaged cities such as Bay Point, El Pablo, or Pittsburgh, that range falls down to anywhere between $45,000 to $61,000, meaning some residents live almost 50% below the low-income threshold. And because of this, financial support in Contra Costa complements the statistical evidence showing the average family, BIPOC family, lives below the low-income threshold. Nearly 36% of our residents in Contra Costa speak a language other than English, but some individuals speak little to no English. Some of our major languages are Spanish, Mandarin, Arabic, Tagalog, Hindi, and Farsi. In order to further promote CCFLP and for having it succeed, services must be offered in target cities with prominent languages to give access to a much bigger audience. In fact, most programs that were offered by Contra Costa were unsuccessful because even though they offered services in a language other than English, their range of language did not extend past Spanish or French in communities that have small populations of Spanish or French-speaking individuals. Our services also extend to American Sign Language because pre-existing personal conditions is not a reason to deny services for any individual.
Now, to validate our proposition, we decided to find out if there were other organizations who were doing a similar objective that the one that we had. We found out that the Bay Area Financial Education Foundation was there, as well as the Bay Area Blended Consortium. The Bay Area Financial Education Foundation, for example, focuses on high school students, and they aim to build proficiency according to the national standards for financial literacy and jumpstart standards. The consortium, on the other hand, imparts financial literacy seasonal courses, and they require in-person meetings. And amongst these competitors or similar offers, how do we stand out? What's our highlight? What makes us different and efficient? We decided to focus on immigrants and minorities because they need it the most. We want to be efficient with our resources. Our target audience is people who are 17 years old and older because they're the ones who are affected the most of the time. We're a year-round service. That means that we are open throughout the whole year. That's because we want to be available for our customers, to say it like that, throughout the whole year and adapt ourselves to their own availability. We allow college students to gain exposure to professional practices because we connect fresh college students with seasoned professionals who know the customs, who have knowledge about any industry out there. That may be the accounting industry, any of the many industries within the finance sector. We also create networking and learning opportunities. That's because we connect this to individuals who have many things to learn from each other. We also open opportunity for professionals to give back to their community because most of the time, these individuals have the knowledge and they possess skills to report to their community. They just don't have the channel to do so. We plan to be that channel. We work with networks who are dedicated to advancing minorities. Again, as I said before, we are heavily focused on efficiency. That's why we want to target and partner with those organizations like Latinos in Finance, Latino Business Association, African Accounting and Finance Association, and many others out there. So how do we plan to get started? What's going to be our first step towards launching this service? It's going to be through our website, the CCFLP website. We have a scheduling platform where people are going to be able to schedule any time and date that works best for them, or any phone calls.
We will also try to reach out to communities in Contra Costa that are in most need of our services. And through our mentorship program connecting professionals and college students, they will provide those services in most need.
From here on, precise monitoring of user traffic through statistical parameters will help improve financial literacy throughout Contra Costa. And the final step is to ensure access is extended across the Bay Area via collaborative work, ensuring everyone has an equal opportunity, regardless of their location, to managing finances.
And our main value is equality begins with equal access to education. That's why we decided to start this project. Thank you.